Hello. My name's Chris, and I'm doing a quick review of the koh-i-noor rapidomatic. So, I was just trying to mess with the exposure a little bit so you could see my face better. I'm in low light conditions, but I was trying to show you guys that at the top of the pencil here, it has inscribed right on the metal the lead hardness degree. So this one says zero point 0.9. It's a zero point 0.9 pencil. I find that incredibly useful because, as you may know, the Pentel Graph Gear 1000s don't have that. They have a little sticker at the end of the pencil, and it's kind of cheap, you know. And this is more official, and these pencils were considered at the time of their minting or whatever to be the highest quality mechanical pencils you can get that are on the market. So I wanted to briefly explain why I think these are so good. So I know I made a comment on Reddit about this, but these pencils have a hexagonal barrel, and none of the reviews that I read really talked about how nice having that hexagonal barrel is. And I'll tell you why that's important. I am a big fan. Well, I should say I was a big fan of the Alvin Draftmatic line, but they are essentially very similar to this pencil. The difference is that the knurling is much more rough on an Alvin, and the barrel is round. And you wouldn't think that would be a big deal, but it actually is, because when I hold a pencil, I tend to rotate it. The hexagonal barrel prevents me from doing this rotation constantly. If it's a round barrel, I tend to move the pencil around a lot in my fingers. And point being, this clip right here gets in the way. So if the barrel is round and I'm constantly rotating the pencil, I'm constantly my hand gets blocked by the clip. So the hexagonal barrel prevents as much rotation. When I'm using it, it stays stationary. I don't really move my fingers too much. So, and I'm also left-handed, so having a pencil like this is a major deal for me. You know what? And I know that some people say, "Oh, you could just take the clip off the Alvin," but you're still rotating the pencil around and around. And I find that if you take the metal clip off of the Alvin, even though it's a minor difference, it does seem to make it a tad bit unbalanced weight-wise by removing the metal clip. And frankly, I kind of like the look of the clip, having the clip on the pencil, even though I don't use it. Most clips are removable. And on my models, I have one that has a very tight lead indicator. The other one doesn't really have a tight lead indicator. That's not something that ever really bothered me about the Draftmatics. I didn't really care if the lead indicator shifted around while I was using it. It doesn't make a big difference for me. For other people, it seems like a big deal, but it's, I noticed that a lot of reviews were particularly harsh on the koh-i-noor rapidomatic that's made in China. I honestly think that these would stand up to any Japanese version. I'm sure that if I had a Japanese version here, I wouldn't notice much of a difference. And in fact, I would probably say the Chinese version is better because supposedly it uses a lighter metal, a lighter alloy. So I would actually find that to be a boon, not a deficit, because I like having light pencils. And this one seems to have the best center of gravity that I've ever had on a pencil. So when I'm using this, I kind of feel like Jimi Hendrix using his famous Stratocasters. And I know they're just simple mechanical pencils, but to me they're more than that. Having the right instrument to use when you're writing is very important. I also was able to put I believe it's called a Z21 Pentel eraser on the Rapidomatic. So these pencils are actually old stock. They were, I bought them from a guy who owned a stationery store for 40 years in Manhattan, and they were still in the packaging, but because of the length of time that they had been sitting, I would say 10 or 20 years, perhaps fewer, maybe 5 years. Anyway, the erasers that were supplied with this pencil were completely dried out. You know, they were obviously aged and worn beyond a reasonable doubt. So I still have them. I kept them just in case I need the what do they call this, the lead jam clearer or whatever, the pin that comes on them. And this was actually a pretty unique design. On most modern versions of the clear out pin, it tends to be just stuck into the eraser. This one has a more of a metal holder for the eraser, and it's connected to this metal piece here. So I thought that was interesting, but I tried using these erasers, and they're obviously too dried out. They no longer work, and they no longer function properly. So I think that pretty much sums up most of the review. And honestly, the plastic, which a lot of people gripe about that it has a plastic barrel, I find that to be a great boon because it's lighter. And honestly, the plastic of these Rapidomatics is very high quality. It's better quality, more robust than your average Pentel Graph Gear 500. I find that the plastic is a little bit more sturdy than the plastic that the GG 500s are made out of, which is really not a big deal either way. Also, a minor point that I find important is that the grip, the knurling on the grip is actually undersized. So what that means is that the hexagonal barrel kind of has a lip over the corners of the hexagonal barrel kind of come out over the grip. And it's a minor thing, but it actually turns out to be a very important thing. If you hold the pencil like so, that little extra bit of tapering of support there from there being a little bit of a lip there kind of keeps your fingers in place, and it actually works out very well. Whether it was intended not in the original design of the pencil or not, I don't think it was. So I am very happy. I got both of these for $15, and they're my holy grail pencil. I am extremely satisfied with these, and I will probably be writing with these till the day I die. And special thanks for the man who supplied them for me, and he didn't really see why they were so wonderful. He operated a store for 40 years, and at one point these were probably more commonplace than anything else he sold, paper clips. But for me, you can't get them anymore. I always thought if a Draftmatic had a hexagonal barrel, it would be very superior, and it turns out I was right. It's everything I ever wanted in a pencil, and I'm going to take good care of these, and not much could go wrong here. I store them in this little case here, which isn't the best, but I put one over on this side and one over on the other side of it, and I have a bunch of lead for both of them in 0.7 and 0.9. So I kind of alternate. I use both of them to do my writing. Some days I want a thicker line, some days I want a thinner line, and I don't really miss the 0.5 lead size. I never really liked the 0.3 because I never had a 0.3 pencil that the lead wouldn't break on it constantly. But then again, the Alvin Draftmatic 0.3 was far superior to any other 0.3 pencil I ever had. So maybe if I had a 0.3 koh-i-noor, I would like it. But I find that the lead thickness of the 0.7 to be more than enough for my writing application. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know what I think about the koh-i-noor Rapidomatic. I'm so thrilled that I have these, and maybe Some people would think it's weird that I do a video review of mechanical pencils, but I know you guys know where I'm coming from, and I'm really thrilled with these. So I'm going to write a great American novel, even though there's no such thing as a great American novel. But the guy who sold me these pencils actually said something about that. He said, "Do you know what language is?" I said, "No." He goes, "It's a trick, man." He's right. It's a trick. Language is a trick. It's a game of words. So he's going to teach me how to write on the weekend. So not only did I get these cool pencils, but he's going to be kind of a mentor for me, I think. So, and who knows, he might give me some more or sell me some more pencils. But honestly, I don't really want any more. These are kind of my holy grail, the only things I ever wanted in terms of mechanical pencils. And I'm sure I could haggle him for some more pencils that he has, but I kind of think that I kind of like to think that Jesus kind of helped me out to get these, and because I went to mass today, I picked these up, and I'm kind of thrilled about that. So I think I don't want to tempt fate there, and I'm not really into collecting. I'm just a writer. I want something that works and that will work forever and that will keep me satisfied, and I've tried everything there is, you name it. I've tried it: typewriters, computers, everything, and every kind of mechanical pencil you can think of. And really, I'm really thrilled with these, and it just really makes my day that I can find something that is unusual and from a different time period that's no longer produced. And I might have to write a letter to Jet Pens or koh-i-noor directly and say, you guys really messed up by canceling this pencil because it's the greatest thing ever. And if one day they do start producing them again, which I don't think they will, I think that they started becoming more expensive than it were to produce. That's why they moved the manufacturing over to China. So they just decided to cancel the whole line, which I think is a mistake. But if they ever do again make these, I will surely recommend them and maybe pick some up myself. And I'm more happy with the ones I got. So goes to show you, a simple thing like a mechanical pencil could really make somebody's day or life in some cases, like in mine. I feel like I'm Jimi Hendrix with this custom Stratocaster. Okay, have a great day, guys. Thanks. Thanks for the time. koh-i-noor.